Today, we're going to discuss how to power level your character in Starfield on day one. Now, we've got a lot of info to cover and no time to waste, so let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to advance your character to God status in Starfield, you must increase your character's level and amass those oh so precious skill points. And there is a quick and easy way to do just that, which can be accomplished on day one without any special skills or lots of money. Now, I must give credit where credit is due. This method was first posted by a YouTuber named Vash Cowaii. Apologies if I butchered that pronunciation, so shout out to him for bringing this information to light. That being said, allow me to walk you through the process. As you can see, my character is brand new. This is my first visit to New Atlantis. I literally just met the Constellation faction, and my character is only level 3. This shows you that the method is doable at the very start of the game. Now, your first step is to grab the required resources. So starting off at the New Atlantis landing pad, we want to make our way into the city and head left. Follow this path until you reach the Jemison Mercantile. Speak to the vendor and purchase the following items. You will need aluminum, beryllium, cobalt, fiber, iron, nickel, tungsten, and zero wire. Now, I personally don't quibble on exact amounts, simply purchase all that she has available. If by chance she does not have one of the listed items available, simply head out to the benches nearby, sit down, and wait for 48 hours. Her inventory will reset, and you will hopefully be able to find all the resources you need. Now that we have the necessary supplies, head back to your ship. Once on board and seated in your cockpit, open up your star map and find the Bessel system located here. Set this system as your target and jump to the system. Once you arrive, open up the star map once again and travel to this moon, Bessel 3B. Next, hit the button to scan for resources and rotate the moon to this section here. You want to zoom in on this area. Now, this next step can be a bit tricky. We need to select the perfect landing spot. By clicking around in this area, you will notice that there are 3 biomes present: the rocky desert, the hills, and the mountains biome. We are looking for a landing zone where all 3 of these biomes intersect. Now, in order to find the sweet spot, select and deselect a landing zone as you slowly adjust your cursor. Keep an eye on which biome the selected spot is in. Once you see that even minor adjustments in the landing spot selection lead to a change in biome, you'll know you are in the right spot. Make sure your final landing zone selection is in the mountains biome, then land on the planet. Once you land your ship, exit and check out the surface. You should see this black mountain in the distance. If your landing zone does not look like this, you'll need to head back to space and try again. Now, I'm using an Xbox controller, so your controls may be different, but press the left button to start scanning and then press X to go into outpost mode. Now you want to start making your way towards that black mountain. Being in outpost mode will allow you to see what resources are available once you create an outpost in that spot. Make your way to the base of the black mountain and search around until you see cobalt, aluminum, iron, and nickel in the available resources section. Once you see this, press A to create an outpost. Now let's get to work building our XP and credit printing machine. First, this is much easier to do in a top-down view, so hit the button to toggle your view. The first thing we are going to build is an aluminum extractor. Highlight this item in the build menu and search your outpost area for the aluminum location. Now, this is a starter outpost, so don't worry too much if your resource areas are not huge. Build one aluminum extractor at the very edge of the build area. Next, we need to power the extractor. So we press the right button to switch to the power tab. Select the wind turbine and build 2 of these to power the aluminum extractor. Next, we want to head back near your outpost beacon and navigate to the furniture tab. Select and build a bed near the beacon. Then switch to the crafting tab and select the industrial workbench. Build one of these right next to your bed. Once this is complete, we need to continue placing down extractors for the other 3 resources. You want to do them in this order. Place 1 extractor on your cobalt node and build enough wind turbines to power it. Now build your nickel extractor and wind turbines to power it. Lastly, build your iron extractor with the necessary amount of wind turbines. If by chance you run out of resources before completing this first set of extractor builds, no problem. Simply exit outpost mode and head to your newly crafted bed. Sleep for 1 hour. When you wake up, your working extractors will be full of resources. Extractors harvest resources based on universal time. And the beauty of this moon, Bessel 3b, is that 1 hour of local time is equivalent to nearly 58 hours of universal time. This means by sleeping for a single hour, you will net nearly 58 hours of extraction time. So once you wake up from your nap, finish building what you need to have 1 extractor on each resource with enough wind turbines to power the lot. Sleep for 1 more hour, and then it will be time to ramp up our operation and start producing infinite amounts of XP and credits. The next step is storage. In order to get our storage going, we first need to craft an item. So head to your industrial workbench and select the adaptive frames. To start off, we're going to craft a single stack of 99 frames. That'll be enough to get us started. Place 1 solid storage container near each of your extractors. Once you have these down, press B to go into modify mode. Move your cursor to an extractor and press the right trigger to create an output link. Move your cursor to the nearby storage box and press A to create the link. Now the resources generated will automatically be transferred and stored in the storage container. Repeat this process for each of your extractors. Next, I recommend moving these storage boxes near your bed location. That way, after you sleep to pass time, you can tell at a glance if your storage boxes are full. This is a simple quality of life thing, but it will pay dividends down the road. Next, you want to select your industrial workbench and craft up a whole bunch of adaptive frames. Then nap for an hour to refill your resources. The next item we want to build is located in the miscellaneous tab. It is called the landing pad with ship builder. You want to build this item as close to your bed and workbench as you can. Now we need to increase our storage capacity. Find a nice flat area and build 4 separate rows of solid storage containers. 1 row for each resource. Let's start off with rows of 5. Once the rows have been built, switch back to modify mode. Create an output link from your original storage container to the first container on the right in the row. Now create an output link from this container to the container right next to it on the left. Continue creating output links until all 5 containers in this row are linked together. Repeat this process with each resource type. Now you have a row of storage containers for each resource, all chained together. The last storage container in the chain will fill first. This is why I recommend placing your original storage boxes next to your bed. That's because this box will be the last to fill, meaning if it is full, so are all the others in the chain. Now head to bed and sleep until all of your storage is full, which should take only 2 to 3 hours. After waking up from your nap, it is time to earn massive amounts of experience. So head back to your industrial workbench. Now for this next step, I highly recommend using the mouse and keyboard on PC. You can still accomplish accomplish this on console or with controller. However, it will be much faster with mouse and keyboard. First, select the adaptive frames and left click to bring up the crafting amounts screen. Move your cursor to here and left click to craft the maximum amount of adaptive frames. Press E to craft, then immediately left click to bring up the crafting amount screen. Now you can spam the left click on your mouse while repeatedly pressing E. This will allow you to spam craft adaptive frames at incredible speeds, allowing you to rake in enormous amounts of experience in no time. Once you run out of crafting resources, head back to bed to pass the time, refill those resources, head back to the workbench, and craft more adaptive frames. Rinse and repeat, and watch your character level explode. Now, this is just the basic setup, ladies and gentlemen. You can ramp this process up even more by placing down more extractors and wind turbines, and by increasing your storage capacity. This will allow you to harvest resources faster, which will accumulate in your expanded storage, which allows you to craft even more adaptive frames in one go. The speed at which you will level your character and acquire those precious skill points is absolutely staggering. You can really ramp this up to ridiculous levels. In short order, I took my character from level 3 to level 21, and to be honest, my setup here is rather modest compared to what you can do. Needless to say, this little outpost will set you up with all of the skill points you will ever need. But this outpost offers so much more than just limitless experience. You also have an unlimited sellable item, adaptive frames. So let's turn all of these adaptive frames into credits. Start off by making your way back to your ship. Now, you will be massively over encumbered, but that really doesn't matter. In Starfield, you cannot die from being over encumbered, and since this is not a hostile moon, nothing will attack you, and you can safely make your way back to your ship, encumbrance level be damned. One important caveat: if you took the wanted trait, you may have some uninvited visitors to deal with. Other than that, you should be able to walk around completely encumbered without risking death. Once you make it back to your ship, you need to travel to a good vendor to sell your goods. Now, my preferred vendor is in Aquila City in the Cheyenne system. If this is your first time traveling to the Cheyenne system, you will need to do a bit of system hopping. First, you want to jump from the Bessel system to Barnard's Star. Then, jump from Barnard's Star to the Aranai system. And finally, jump from the Aranai system to the Cheyenne system. Once you reach orbit of Aquila, open the star map and land on Aquila City. Exit your ship and head into town. You are looking for Shepherd's General Store right here on the left. Now, the reason this vendor is special is twofold. First, there is a chair behind the vendor that you can sit in, wait to pass time, and yet still be in reach of the vendor to initiate another sale while remaining seated. Second, Aquila City has several nearby vendor chests which you can freely loot. These chests contain a boatload of items and are a great way to stock up on ammo and resources. Some players frown upon this, but some players love it, and whether or not you decide to take advantage of these chests is completely up to you. Head inside and speak to the vendor. Sell him as many adaptive frames as he can buy before running out of credits. Now you want to wait 48 hours to reset the vendor's inventory. Speak to the vendor, sell more frames, loot the chests outside. Now, if you choose not to loot the chests, you can still purchase the ammo directly from the vendor. Then turn around and sell him a bunch of frames to get all of your money back. Rinse and repeat this process until you are out of adaptive frames to sell. Then simply head back to your outpost and spam craft more frames. By following this process, you will have the ability to generate unlimited experience, unlimited credits, and unlimited ammo. This will set your character up for Godhood in the future. But for now, this is Savin saying thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll catch you in the next one.